Hello Pisces, welcome to the channel. This is Rooted Souls Tarot. I'm Lisa and this is your reading for the rest of 2025. So June to December. Although I am filming this mid-June, but you know, the rest of June to December. So I've got these lovely cards here. Herbiary Oracle deck by Maya Toll. I'm going to pick you a couple of these. I'm going to pick you a couple of these Goddess Guidance cards and then we'll dive into some tarot. So don't forget, this is for you, Pisces, if you are sun, moon or rising. And remember, it's also a general reading, so just take from it what you need and leave behind what you don't. Simple. Okay, two of these cards. A spoonful of sugar. Pay attention. Okay, let's have some of these, a couple of these even. Goddess Guidance cards by Doreen Virtue, or Doris Virtue as I called her the other day. Okay. Artemis, Guardian, you and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected. Sulis, Bodies of Water. Very ironic, seeing as you are a Pisces and very watery sign, a very watery sign. Spend time near water, such as a lake, river or the ocean, to recharge your batteries. Right. So, a spoonful of sugar. A little bit of what you fancy does you good, but too much of a good thing can sometimes be not good, not so good. So I think this is speaking to the fact that maybe, as we've got pay attention there, there's something in life that maybe he's feeling a little bit out of balance. Something that if it was just a small thing, you know, a small bit of this something, it would be absolutely fine. It would keep the balance. The balance would stay. But I feel like there's something in an area of your life at the moment, Pisces, that you are overdoing in some way. And like I say, a little bit of this would be absolutely fine, but the balance is being tipped and the scales are being tipped, and this isn't really that good for you at the moment. And I think this is maybe coming from a place of fear, and maybe a place of deep emotion. So whatever this is, obviously it's going to be something completely different for every single person, because, you know, it's Pisces and there's lots of you with lots of different things going on in the world, in your worlds even. But there's something in your life that is out of balance, and it's your doing, something that you're particularly doing, that you're putting your energy into. Maybe it's stress. Maybe, you know, you find yourself in a place of stress and anxiety, and this stress and anxiety, obviously, it has its place, doesn't it? But if you're overdoing it, then it just tips the balance, and things just sort of get thrown out because it's, you know, you're overdoing this something. We've got the Guardian card here. So, you know that you're protected, know that the universe has got your back. And I think when we're in a state of fear, it's very easy to lose our hope, to lose our trust maybe in ourselves, in the choices that we're making, our trust in other people. But the universe has got your back, and things will figure out the way that they're meant to. And I don't necessarily think even the universe, think, you know, our loved ones in spirit, our spirit guides even, they're trying to direct us, they're trying to point us in the right direction. And again, it's about having that hope, having that trust, in order to move ourselves forward. But I am feeling that you are feeling very emotional at the moment, and maybe that is, you know, the root of this thing that's being thrown out of balance, this thing that maybe you're doing too much of, or putting too much emphasis on even. And I think there's a very, very deep emotional connection. So obviously this is the rest of this year. So let's just see what other cards we've got. Tarot cards that can maybe enlighten us a little bit more. Right, what does Pisces need to know for the rest of this year? Oops. I mean, life is all about balance, isn't it? It is all about balance. It's about doing things in a balanced way. And then when things are in that state of equilibrium, then the energy flows the way it's meant to. Things move forwards in the way that it's meant to. Right. What does Pisces need to know for the rest of this year? King of Wands. Seven of Wands. The Fool. Three of Cups. Nine of Swords. The Chariot. Okay, so I think there is some movement before the end of this year, some movement forwards. We've got the King of Wands starting off in June with that King of Wands, and he is very fiery energy. He's wanting to move forwards. He knows where he wants to go. He's confident enough to do it, and he is just taking action, making steps, moving forwards. So I think there's an actual shift in momentum this month in June. Obviously, I'm filming this even in June. And I think that there is this shift in your energy. I think you're feeling more confident about where you want to go, how you're going to get there. And I think, you know, you're really up for this shift, this powering forward with something, a project. It could be a house move, it could be a new business, it could be a new relationship, but you're up for it, and you're feeling confident that this is the right thing for you right now. Let's have a little bit of a look. We've got the World, so yeah, brand new cycle starting, and I think you're kick-starting it. The Six of Wands, so it's the card of victory, the card of you're winning. So brand new cycle beginning. Brand new cycles, you know, and you're going to take everything that you've learned from the last cycle and you're going to move onwards. Move onwards, and you're going to be doing it in a really powerful kind of way. I think, you know, don't forget we've got that victory card there. You're winning with what you're doing. I think that it's the right thing for you, and I think it's taking you towards the place that you're meant to be, for the vision. I think this is a part of a bigger plan for you, Pisces, that you've got for yourself. And I do believe this is you. This is this movement forward. This this is what's happening, and we're just going to go for it. That's the energy I feel for you in June. I feel like something has shifted. Something inside has shifted, and it's made you more determined. That's the word I'm looking for. More determined and confident to move yourself forwards. So we've got the Seven of Wands there. Seven of Wands is about ploughing forwards, pushing forwards, being stubborn, really just heading towards your vision for the future for yourself. And I think, you know, come July, that's what you're going to be doing for yourself. I think you may well come up against some challenges, some people that maybe don't agree with what it is that you're doing, but you're ploughing forwards, you're battling forwards, and you're winning. Again, you know, you look at him there, he's stood on that hill and there's people below him. He's coming out on top. So, you know, just follow your intuition, follow, you know, your inner guide, and let it lead you on the way forwards. If you know that something's the right thing for you, then you've just got to totally put yourself behind it, and I think that's exactly what you're going to be doing. I don't envisage that it's going to be easy. I think you're going to have a lot on your plate. I think you're going to be quite weighed down with stuff, with things that you're doing, you know, things that you've got to do to move yourself forwards into this new cycle. You know, if you move in house, you know, you're going to have to pack it up. That's going to be a lot, isn't it? On top of work, on top of family, on top of, you know, it's that sort of thing. It's like it's a lot, but it's for your benefit. And it's not forever. You know, here he's nearly home. He's nearly ready to put his sticks down, and that's you. This thing that you're moving forwards towards, it's for your benefit. It's for your benefit, and it's not forever. So this moment of hard work and effort that you've got to put into the situation, yes, it might feel very heavy, yes, it might be exhausting, but it's not forever. So we've got the Seven of Cups there. It's about having choices about which dream do you want to bring down to reality, which one are you going to choose. So I think I think you're going to be open to different choices. I think there's going to be some different things popping up, and you're going to have to decide: is this the way that I want to go? Is this my cup that I need to put my energy into? No, it might be this cup. You're going to have some choices. You're going to have some decisions to make, and I think you've got to trust yourself, and I think you have got to listen to that intuition. I'm just going back here to you moving forwards, trying to find a state of balance. And I think that's what this journey, this next cycle is taking you towards, is more balance within your life. And I think you've got to have that hope and that trust that things are going to move the way that you want to, in the right way. And I think you're going to have some things pop up in front of you that you're going to have to, that's going to test your intuition almost, that you're going to be forced into making some choices. And I think it might feel a little bit even out of your comfort zone, but you've got to do it because you're moving forwards, Pisces. With this reading, this set of readings, this round of readings for everybody has been all about transformation. I think we've laid the groundwork at the start of the year, and the end of the year we're tying this up. We're moving through this transitional phase where we're going to come out at the other end in a different place, even a different frame of mind, with somebody different. The transition is going to have taken place, the transformation even. And I think the June, July, August even, I think this is all about putting these things into place, kick-starting them, starting to put your energy into them. And then we actually get to August and we're starting off on a brand new journey. We're setting ourselves off towards something new, on a brand new adventure, not knowing maybe how it's going to go, but just taking that leap of faith, trusting in the universe, knowing that the universe, that our loved ones have got us, and connecting with our intuition to move ourselves forward. Despite the fact that it might feel emotionally difficult. Again, it's that get time with, spending time with water. It's summer here in France, so my other half is actually a Pisces, so we'll go to the beach, maybe have a swim in the river. Those are all the things that maybe it's a good idea for you to do if things are feeling tricky, if things feel like they're coming on top a little bit. But there's definitely a new start heading your way come August, a new adventure. Taking that leap of faith. I've actually got two here. Again, the High Priestess, about connecting with your intuition, listening to it. You are a Pisces. You are deeply emotional. You are deeply psychic. You are connected to yourself. And I think it's, for a lot of people, this year is going to be about re-establishing that connection with yourself. Listening to that emotional side of yourself and learning from it, and also following your intuition. Our intuition is there for a reason. It guides us the way that we're destined to go. That we've already planned before we got here on this earth. We already planned what our journey is going to roughly look like, and so by connecting to our intuition, we can get ourselves on the right path, towards the place that we're meant to be. We've got the Three of Wands. It's about looking towards where next. What's going on for me next? Where am I going to take myself? Where can I find some expansion, some growth? I even think for some of you, it's going to be about an actual move, whether that's a move abroad, whether that's a move to a different area, a move house, whatever. I think you're going to be, in August, you're going to be really looking out there to where you're going to take yourself next. I actually feel it's a physical where you're going to take yourself, rather than, a metaphorical, where am I going next? Then we've got the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is about celebration. It's about connecting with your nearest and dearest, about the people that matter around you, celebrating with them. So I'm thinking around September, things are going to feel really quite positive, quite joyful. I think there's going to be stuff to celebrate within your small little community. I'm just being nudged here to pay attention to this spoonful of sugar. Pay attention. So running theme through this, I think, is about keeping yourself in balance, keeping yourself in check, trying not to do this thing, whatever it is that you do. Maybe it's overanalyzing, maybe it's self-sabotaging, this thing that you do that takes you out of balance. Just keeping an eye on that and just trying to keep an even keel. Just keep remembering balance, 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 not to let yourself fall too much one way, because I think, you know, you're going to have moments through the rest of this year where you're going to fall either way, and it's just about keeping that vibration high, keeping yourself in the middle, not letting yourself fall too much one way or another. And the only person that can do that really is you. So you know, that's your eye there. You've got to pay attention. It's a cool card, that. I love it. Okay, so celebrations with your nearest and dearest. What have we got to celebrate? Let's have a little bit of a look. Oh, things are coming together in a financial way. So whether that is work, whether that is you know, you're receiving some money from an inheritance or some sort of legacy, something that you've been put in, you know, maybe it's a savings account that's matured, or an ISA, or whatever it is that they call them these days. But there's definitely a feeling of abundance. A feeling of abundance, that things are coming together, and it's with that celebration card. So, you know, that's not a bad thing. And I think we've got this judgment card here. It's going to give you a rebirth of sorts. It's going to give you a brand new injection of life, and I think you're going to feel this is the transitional thing. I think you're going to feel so much differently come September, because things have really taken a shift and things are starting to look up, because, you know, this year has been a little bit grim, hasn't it? It's been very difficult, it's been very challenging, and I think you're finally going to start having something to celebrate, and it's going to make you feel like a whole new person. Right. Next card is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is about stress, it's about anxiety, it's about having worries on your mind. So let's see what other cards we've got to go with that for you, Pisces. Trying not to drop any. Right, Ace of Swords and the Lovers. So I think you're gaining some clarity before the end of the year. Oh, we need one more card for you. I'll do that in a minute. This is October-ish. I think there's something that's really feeling really stressful, and there's going to be some clarity about that situation. And I think that situation is going to involve somebody within your life, somebody quite close, maybe even a significant other. All right, somebody from the past, somebody that you've got a very deep relationship with. And it's something that you've been stressed about, you've been anxious about, and you're finally seeing clarity on it. You're finally seeing clarity, and it's really something that needed resolving, something that you needed to work through before you moved onwards. And I think that's exactly what it is. It's a resolution of sorts surrounding somebody from the past. And you can finally put it to bed, put the stress and anxiety related to that person. I think this can finally start being put to bed, and you can move on. You can move on in a way, I think, that you've not felt you've been able to before. I think it's been like a shadow or a rain cloud, a dark rain cloud following you around. And it's time to let that go, I think. So we've got the Chariot here as our next card. Chariot is about forward momentum, about moving forward. It's about following your intuition. It's about following your intuition. And I think things are just really going to start pushing forwards. Things are going to start pushing forwards before the end of the year. And I think that you're directing proceedings, you're directing where it is you're going to go. You're following your intuition, again, that I can't even say it, intuitive part of your brain, got there in the end. And I think you're following that, and it's directing you where you're going, and it's really pushing things forward in your life. Let's have a couple of cards to go with that. But I do believe that this Nine of Swords and this clarity, breakthrough energy relating to somebody that you have a deep connection with from the past, it's opening the floodgates for you, and it's moving you forwards again in a fresh sort of energy, pushing you forwards. The Emperor. I think you're going to start feeling more control of yourself. I think you're going to start having more confidence. I think you're actually going to start believing in yourself a little bit more, trusting yourself. The Emperor, he makes big decisions. He makes decisions that affect everybody, and he's confident in doing that. And I think this is you. I think you're going to be moving forwards, making difficult decisions, making some good big decisions, and trusting yourself that you've got this, and that you know what you're doing, and feeling confident about it. The Page of Cups, it's you, Pisces. I think got the Knight of Wands as well. I think you are feeling fresh and more in charge of your emotions, and more, it's keeping life simple and not overcomplicating it, and not diving too deeply into difficult emotional stuff. I think you've realised sometimes that maybe you do have a tendency, being a Pisces, obviously any water sign, you're all very, very deep, aren't you? And I think moving forwards, I think you've realised that to achieve what it is you're working through right now, it's about keeping things light and breezy, about keeping things simple, not diving too deeply where it's not necessary, not looking at things too deeply when it's not necessary. Sometimes it is just literally as simple as it is. There's no hidden depths. Some people are as shallow as puddles, aren't they? And sometimes we think we put our thoughts on other people, don't we? And we think all sorts of different things, when really the reality is it's just as simple as it is. And this is what it feels like for me. It feels like it's just about keeping things simple, not getting too deep into things, just keeping things bright and breezy, and trusting yourself, trusting that the universe has got your back, and just moving forwards, moving towards the things that you want in your life, the joyful things that bring you pleasure, and just moving towards those things without overcomplicating matters. Right, a little bit tongue-tied there. I hope you got the general gist of what I was trying to say. I'd love it if you gave me a little bit of feedback on this. Does this resonate with you on any level? Does this fit with what's going on in your life? I'd love to know. I'd also love it if you wanted to subscribe. If you press that subscribe button and become part of the little community that I'm trying to build, that would be amazing also. Right, but in the meantime, I'm going to leave it at that. You are starting a brand new cycle, Pisces, off on a new adventure, trusting your intuition. Things are going to start getting better. Things are going to start moving forwards. You just need to keep it bright and breezy, not go too deep, and just go with the flow. Go with the flow. And don't forget, don't overdo something. It's okay to do something a little bit naughty or a little bit that's not good for us, on a simple level. But when we throw ourselves headlong into it, it's only going to do us wrong. It's a little bit like the Devil card, I actually think, that spoonful of sugar. A little bit of what you fancy does you good, but too much of it can make you ill. So don't forget that. Right, take care of yourself. Stay open, stay rooted, and stay magical. And I will catch up again with you very, very soon.